Alright, back on Game Pulse Payoff Pitch. We're going to play this Mets-Tigers game. And it's going to be Wilcox and Koosman. I'll manage the Tigers. And we're going to be using the manual dice, dice roll, and fax this time, since this seems to be the best way right now to play the game. Tommy Agee will lead it off against Wilcox. Agee so far is hitting .289 with 3 homers and 4 ribbies. Wilcox pitching to a 1 ERA and a .72 whip. So here we go. We're in the manual dice roll and fax. We got a tough right off the bat righty. 1-57 is going to be a strikeout, but a 97 is just a fly to left, and there's 1 out. Bring up Cleon Jones. So far he's hitting over 400 with a homer and 5 ribbies. And 5 is going to be ballpark for a righty. 1-52 will be wheelhouse. 8 is wheelhouse. 1-17 for a homer. He gets hits up to 49, but a 72 is just a grounder to second, and there's 2 out. Bring up Eddie Cranepool. Ed Cranepool is hitting .212 with a couple of homers and 4 runs batted in. And we got a patient result here, right-handed. Goes up to 46, and a 19 is a walk. So Cranepool is on with 2 out. That'll bring up Jerry Grody. Grody hitting 139, no homers, 7 RBIs. 2 out, runner on first. We got a tough right-handed. He'll strike out on a 1-45, but a 67 is just a grounder to second. And we'll go to the bottom of the first. And we're going to have Jerry Koosman on the mound. He's got a 3.52 ERA, 9 Ks, 6 walks, 111 whip. Gibson hitting .238 with 3 homers and 4 ribbies. I keep forgetting I wanted to switch this lineup around, but I've just been playing and not caring too much. But I would actually rather have Whitaker leading off, Trammell second, and Gibson third. But Gibson's hitting, got 3 homers and 4 ribbies so far. Koosman is left-handed, so we're in play, and it's 1-31 for a hit. 89's a grounder to second, 1 out. Bring up Lou Whitaker hitting .385 with a couple of homers and 4 ribbies. And we got defense for the first time, so we flip the fact, and we're going to check the shortstop for an error. Looks like he's a 3, so 1-48 will be an error on the shortstop, but a 74 is an out. And this part doesn't matter too much with nobody on, but with men on base it matters. Out is ground ball DP on an A ranged player, but it's not a factor here. So there's 2 out, nobody on, and Trammell is batting over 300 with 3 ribbies. And 11 is ballpark for a righty batter. Again, 1-52. 94 is in play against the lefty. 1-32 for a hit. 49 is a grounder to first. We go to the second. Scoreless. Wayne Garrett's going to lead it off. Wayne Garrett for the Mets, batting .280 with 5 ribbies. Hasn't gone deep. And there's a tough righty. 1-46 for a strikeout. 93 is just a fly to right. 1 out. Bring up Buddy Harrelson, batting .214 so far on the replay. And in play righty is going to be 1-31 for a hit. 32 just misses it, is popped to second, 2 out. And now Ron Swoboda batting .160, does have a homer. And 10 is tough righty, 1-72, and he whiffs, and he whiffs. So we go bottom 2, scoreless. And it'll be Parrish leading it off. Lance Parrish has not homered yet. 143 with no homers. So that's a little bit disappointing to not see him having homered yet. I played enough games. He should have homered already. Here's an in-play lefty, 1-28. And 69's a grounder to second, 1 out. Bring up Darrell Evans, who has 3 homers, batting .138. And this is ballpark lefty, 1-62 wheelhouse. That is a wheelhouse, so against the lefty, only a 1-11 homer for the lefty batter. He does have hits up to 49, and an 18 is going to be a double for Evans. So runner on second with 1 out. First hit for the Tigers, first hit in the game. And Larry Herndon batting .296 with a homer and 5 ribbies will bat. We got a tough lefty, 1-33 for a strikeout, but 34-51 for a hit. And a 45 is a base hit. And the runner on second scores. So it is 1-0 Tigers. And that'll bring up Howard Johnson batting righty against the lefty, hitting .250. And he also has not gone yard yet. We got another defense check. We're going to be checking the shortstop again for an error, and again it's a 3, so 1 to 48 for an error, and 34 is an error. So now we're going to look at the error section for an infielder, and it's 2 bases. So a 2-base error there, and it's second and third, 1 out for Barbaro Garvey, who is batting 143 on this replay. And we got a tough out, so it's going to be an out, and it's going to be a fly to center. Herndon's a 6, Arm is a 7. Let's try and score. And we got a roll, and it looks like he is safe. 6 is under the 6 is 6 or 7. I think it has to be equal or less than the 6 and the 7, and it was, so he scores. So it's 2-0, and Wilcox with 2 outs is just going to swing. And there's an in-play lefty, 1 to 15 for a hit. But a 29 is a liner to second. Tigers jump out in front 2-0. We go to the third. Weiss will lead it off. Weiss is hitting 148. A lot of low averages. Patient righty goes up to 32 only, but an 11 is good enough for a double. Weiss leads it off with a double. Runner on second with nobody out for Koosman. Just going to pitch to him. He could have brought corners in. It doesn't matter on bunts anyway in this game. So patient. You can't bring corners in with a runner on second in this game. I'm so used to that in other games, so you can't do that here. So patient and righty is 1 to 30, and that's a walk. So he's on. It walks the pitcher. Yeah, bunt defense in this game is basically non-existent. Corners in and infield in is for when there's a runner on third and you want to try and cut him off at the plate. First and second, nobody out for Tommy Agee. And we got a tough right-handed, so 1 to 57 will be a strikeout. And he does strike out. Big strikeout there for Wilcox. First and second, 1 out for Cleon Jones. And this is a patient righty. Goes up to 67. 45's a double. It is a double. Looping liner to right. Runners advance 2 bases. So it's now 2-1. Now second and third, 1 out. We're going to go corners in instead of full infield in for Cranepool. And 9 is tough righty, 1 to 21 for a big strikeout, but he has hits 22 to 37. 77 is just a fly to center. Now this is weird here, was they're asking me, they're supposed to be managing the Mets, the AI, but the AI is asking me, Jerry Koosman attempt to score. I don't know why they're asking me, but I'm going to hold him as the pitcher. So second and third, 2 out. That's something the AI should be deciding. Jerry Grody is up, second and third, 2 out. And we got a tough right-handed, 1 to 45 will whiff him, and there's a 20 and a strikeout. So Tigers hold on to their lead. It's 2-1, bottom of the third. And Gibson will lead it off. And patient lefty is 1 to 59 for something good and a walk. He's on first, nobody out for Whitaker. 6 is tough lefty, 1 to 44 for a K, but 54 is a base hit. And runners advance 1 base, it looks like. So first and second, nobody out for a Trammell. 7 is in play lefty, 1 to 32. 95 is a fly to left. And in play, I think the runner on second holds most. I have the fly ball rules somewhere written in front of me. But I think the runner on second holds on flies to left. So yeah, I think it's an automatic hold. So first and second, 1 out for Parrish. And 5 is in play lefty. That's 1 to 28. And a 91 is a grounded to short. So now we're going to get a double play. This first roll is for the there's some exception rules if you get a 5 or a 6 on the red die. So this is what this roll is for. And it is a 6. And now we're rolling for the double play. Parrish's double play is 6. Koosman's is 9, so we used a lower one. So a 6 or less is a double play. And there is a 6, and that's a double play. And they scored at 6-4-3. The exceptions has mostly to do with how they score a double play or a force out or whatever. But they didn't come into play there, I don't think. So we got Garrett up, and let me just double check that. That was a 6-4-3? Yeah, 6-4-3 I think is just a normal double play. So Garrett is going to lead it off here in the top of the 4th. It's 2-1, and 6 is a tough righty, and 42 is a strikeout, 1 out. So good game so far. Buddy Harrelson batting. Another tough. And that is a double. 32 and 33 is a double. And Harrelson finds it. Runner on second, 1 out. That'll bring up Ron Swoboda. Trying to tie this game up. It's an in-play righty, 1-30. 45. That's just a grounder to first. Should move the runner to third automatically. But they're doing a roll. This is not really by the rules of a... according to the chart rules, I think on a grounder to second, if with a runner on second, a grounder to first or second is an auto advance. But they're doing these rolls anyway. I'm not sure why. But this is an auto rule in the game that I believe. So those dice rolls are unnecessary. Runner on third, 2 out for Weiss. And there's a tough righty. And 31 is a strikeout. So the Mets do not tie the game. We go bottom 4, 2-1. Tigers lead it. Evans. And there's a patient lefty, 1-81. And that is a walk. So Evans is on. Bring up Herndon. And here's an in-play lefty. And 63 is a G4, so now we will do, and again, we're doing the exception roll, even though it rarely comes into play, but there's a 6. One of the exceptions is the shortstop just stepping on the bag instead of throwing to the second baseman. So here's a DP6 and a DP9. We use the lower number, so a 6 or less is a double play, and there's a double play on a 4. And that was a 6-4-3 standard double play, so we go 2-1 in the bottom. It's 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th, and Howard Johnson... Wheelhouse here, lefty, 1-25 for a home run, but 81 is just a fly to center. So that's the 3rd out. We go to the 5th. 2-1 Tigers, and Jerry Koosman will lead it off. And 6 is a tough, and that's going to be a strikeout no matter what. So there we go, struck him out, 1 out. Bring up Tommy Agee. 7 is in play righty. He needs a 1-33 for a hit. That's just a fly to center on an 80. 2 quick outs. We go to Cleon Jones. 8 is patient righty, 1-67, but an 88 is a grounder to short. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1 Tigers. Garby leading it off. And 7 is in play lefty, 1-31, but a 46 is just a grounder to first, 1 out. Bring up Milt Wilcox. In play, lefty. He does get a hit on a 1-15 and even has a double 1-3. But a 69 is a fly to center. 2 out, nobody on for Gibson. And there's an in play lefty. He gets a hit 1-31. 86 grounder to second. Pitchers dominating here. 2-1 top 6. Wilcox will face Cranepool. And 10 is tough righty. 38 is a grounder to first. He goes up to 37. He just missed it. But it's a grounder back to the pitcher. Grounder back to the pitcher. And a 1-3 put out. So 1 out, nobody on for Grody. Grody's 0 for 2. And 4 is patient righty. 1-51 for something good. 77's a fly to center. 2 out. And Wayne Garrett is up. And that's an in-play righty, 1-27. 95 is just a fly to right. So a lot of high numbers. High numbers in this game usually mean outs. And we go bottom 6, 2-1 for Whitaker leading it off. 7 is in play against a lefty. 54 is a grounder to third. Again, that number is just too high for a hit. 8, patient lefty. This goes up to 73, and that's a walk. So he's on with 1 out. Trammell on first, 1 away for Parrish. Again, Parrish looking for his first home run here. And 11 is ballpark. That's right-handed is 1-52 for Wheelhouse. Here's Wheelhouse. He's 1-76 versus a left-handed pitcher. And there it is. Lance Parrish with his first home run of the replay. A 2-run shot. And the Tigers lead it 4-1. Parrish is relieved to get his first homer. That'll bring up Evans. And this is going to be a tough out. So a strikeout or an out here. And it's a fly to center. 2 out. Bring up Larry Herndon. And a 6 is tough lefty. And that's going to be a 62 is too big and a fly to right. So we go to the 7th. Mets now in a hole 4-1 on the Parrish homer. Harrelson leads it off. And there's a patient 1 to 65 and a 66. Again, just missing it and a grounded a short. 1 out. And Shamsky is going to pinch hit for Swoboda. And there's a tough righty. And a strikeout. So Shamsky pinch hits but is cold off the bench and strikes out. Now we get Boswell pinch hitting. Computer seems to do the same pinch hitters and pretty much the same spots. Here's a patient result, right-handed, 1 to 59, but 95 is too big and it's a fly to right. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. I think we're getting a new pitcher. Well, first we get Ed Charles in. Oh no, Koosman wasn't pinch hit for. It was the 7 and 8 hitters. So Koosman's in there. He'll get pinch hit next inning. Howard Johnson will bat. This is Koosman's last inning, more than likely. Patient lefty goes to 49, and that's a base hit. So runner on first. Nobody out for Garby, who will bat. In play lefty, 1 to 31, and on 11 is a base hit. Runner on first advances 1 base. First and second, nobody out. For Wilcox, let's do a sac bunt. First number is for who fields it, and I think a 1 is the pitcher on the charts. And now we're going to find out if it's successful. This would be a chart lookup, and it's a sacrifice hit based on Wilcox's bunt rating. So second and third, 1 out. And it doesn't look like they're bringing the infield in here. I see them bringing the infield in with big leads, but here they're going to let runs score. 1 out for Gibson. And 10 is tough lefty. 1 to 66 for a strikeout. Only 67 to 71 for a hit. And a 99 is a fly to right. So now I have to decide whether to score. His run is only a 3. His run rating is only a 3, so we'll hold him. Second and third, 2 out. Johnson. It was a 5, right? Because it was you lose 2 points on that, so his 5 went down to a 3. So his too low to try and score there, because you have to be equal to or less than, I believe. So second and third, 2 out for Whitaker, and 5 is in play. Lefty, 60's too much, fly to left, so they don't score. We're going to go 4-1 into the 8th inning. And pinch hitter now for Koosman is Bob Heiss, and Wilcox on a ballpark righty, 1 to 52, and that is a wheelhouse against the righty, but he has no home runs, so not much of a pinch hitter here. 1 to 50 for a hit though, and he's 80 is too big, fly to center, 1 out, and that'll bring up Agee. 9 is tough righty, and that's a strikeout. Low numbers on tougher strikeouts. High numbers in most other areas are outs. Cleon Jones. 9 is a tough. Again, we're going to have 1 to 33 for a K, but 84 is just a grounded a short. Wilcox pitching a game. Bottom 8, 4-1. It's been a good game. Trammell will bat. Let's see who we get in here. Ron Taylor. Yeah, that's usually who he brings in. And there's an in-play righty. 1 to 35, and a base hit for Trammell. Bring up Parrish, who finally got his first homer of the year, hitting 158, but he gets his first homer. Here's a tough righty, 1 to 52 for a whiff, and he whiffs, struck him out. That'll bring up Evans. 6 is tough righty, 1 to 37 strikeout, 38 to 49 hit, 18 struck him out, 2 in a row. We'll let Herndon bat since they have the lead. And 6 is tough righty, 1 to 43 for a strikeout, but 47 is a base hit. Runners advance 1 base from first, but with 2 outs, there's the 2-out rule. So it's with 2 outs, there's special rules where if you're a certain speed, you get to advance, and he gets to advance. First and third, 2 out for Johnson. And this is a tough righty, 1 to 38 strikeout, 39 to 52 to score a run. 19 struck him out. So we go to the 9th. It's 4-1. Wilcox trying to complete this game. Face Eddie Cranepool. 6 is tough righty. 98, too big. Fly to right, 1 out. That'll bring up Jerry Grody. 9 is tough again. And 86 is too big. Grounded to short, so Wilcox is 1 out away from a complete game. He just has that 1 run blemish, taking that shutout away. Wayne Garrett standing in his way, and it's tough righty, 1 to 46 to end this game on a strikeout. Nope, 59, but it's too big, and it's a fly to left. And the Tigers really easily win this game 4-1 behind Milt Wilcox. Parrish getting his first home run of the year. Koosman takes the loss. And nice game. They don't... Oh, yeah, winning pitcher there. So let's take a look at the box score real quick. Here's the box score. And they only had, what, three hits in the whole game. Jones, Harrelson, and I think Weiss led off with a double. And Parrish with the 2 ribbies on the homer. And the other ribbies were Herndon and Garby. And there's Wilcox's line. 3 hits, a run, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Excellent ERA for the season. Koosman, 7 innings, pitching to a 4 ERA. Taylor's been good in relief, but here the Tigers win it by a score of 4-1. Thanks for watching.